What's up, everybody? I just finished reading the book Contagious by Jonah Berger, and I just wanted to share what I learned, which is super appropriate because the book is all about word of mouth virality and person to person sharing. So it's interesting that 20 to 50% of all purchase decisions are actually dictated by word of mouth marketing. So let's explore what makes up good word of mouth marketing. It's divided into 6 components with the acronym STEPS. The first one is social currency. Social currency is basically something that makes you look good to someone else. And if it makes you look good, you're more likely to share it. So there are 3 components to this. The first is inner remarkability. Think of like a Snapple cap and how you share the remarkableness of the fun fact. The second is leveraging game mechanics. So like a punch card, you're willing to share a privilege or opportunity that you possess with someone else. And then last is treating someone like an insider. So having this component of exclusivity or scarcity in an opportunity is something that you're more likely to share with others because it makes you look better. So next is triggers, and triggers are basically stimuli that are just in your environment that prompt you to think about a brand or a idea, basically. And so triggers are all about accessibility. If you see something, you're more likely to talk about it because it's out there and it's at the top of your mind. And that's why it's summarized as top of mind, tip of tongue. Next is emotion. And emotion is actually interesting. You have to think about the components of emotion. So it's divided into 2 parts. The first being the affect, how positive or negative something is. And the second being the arousal or the intensity of the energy level that you feel with the emotion. And Jonah Berger finds that you're actually more likely to share something when you experience an emotion of high arousal. So think of the difference between excitement and contentment. You're more likely to share something that you're excited about rather than something that you're just content about. And he explains this as when we care, we share. Next is public. And public is all about general visibility, and it actually has a component of social proof tied into it. You see other people engaging in a certain behavior or doing a certain product, and you're more likely to think that it's acceptable, okay, and something that you want to do yourself. So 2 great examples of this in the book. The first one is iPhone headphones and their decision to make them white. So the fact that they're white means that whatever's in your pocket, your music device, has to be an iPhone because it's specific to the white headphones. So in that way, it made what you have in your pocket more public and visible to other people, and therefore you leverage that social proof. And the second example, which uses the exact same thing, is Livestrong bracelets. And Livestrong bracelets were yellow because they were noticeable by a bunch of different people, and in the same way leveraged social proof because people knew that they were supporting the cause because the yellow stood out so much. Next is practical value, and practical value is pretty self-explanatory. If you see something is going to be valuable to someone else, you share it with them. It's pretty, it's really that simple. Summarized as news that you can use, right? And then last is stories. And stories are just the vessel that all of this information travels in to make it more implicit, and that these lessons or these tips that you're learning don't confront you in such an unexpected way. It's just more naturally presented to you as a story. So to end this all with a story, Jonah Berger talks about word of mouth virality as not being the initial flame, but everything that carries it. So think about the whole context of the marketing ploy or the brand or whatever it is, and everything around it, not just the initial start. Hope you enjoyed Contagious by Jonah Berger. Great book. Thanks.